That's it. That's all you needed us to do?
Yeah, that's it.
You're done?
Yeah, that's it.
You don't
I'm
need
going to start putting everything together and then...
Holy, you made me seem we could have done that.
As you can see from the video, we got the motor back. So if you're just tuning in, let me give you kind of like a recap on what happened. I got this motor and I was unaware that GM had a weird year, 99 to 2000, where the crank snout, the snout where a flex plate or a flywheel bolt to, can be longer or shorter. So there was 1 year where they were longer. So what happened was, that was this motor. This motor was built for the longer snout used in a turbo 400 trans or something like that, and this will not work with my T56. So I had to source the crank, and then I had to find a machine shop. And what I ended up doing was dropping the motor off at the machine shop a couple weeks back. He did a mic check, he looked at the bearings, he looked at the piston rings, and we needed some mains. So since I had to order main bearings, I decided might as well do rods, might as well do piston rings. So the motor has brand new King tri-metal bearings, rod and main, and it has brand new Manley steel top piston rings. So these piston rings are better for boost, nitrous, etc. So I'm glad I did it. I'm right now about to go through and just clean everything up, double check that he torqued everything, and start putting everything that I can on. I am hopeful to have this motor and trans in the car within a week. Hoping I have everything I need to do it. We'll see. But I think I can get it done. I have been stacking a lot of parts, so I just got to go through my inventory and see what I might be missing. But stay tuned, guys. I'm going to post up the camera and just go through it. Thanks. Going off camera real quick was just going through. He torqued them all, but I wanted to make sure he torqued them. And then at the same time, I wanted to put some oil in some places and rotate the motor and stuff like that. So far, everything's good. She really does rotate nice. So I'm just going to keep doing some more cleanup, and then I'm actually going to install the wedge tray here in a second. So I'm going to turn the camera on now. I had to shut off the camera because I couldn't find my oil pump bolts. So then I ran to J.E. Rice and I bought some, but I didn't like how big the flange was on them. I mean, they're much stronger than the OEM ones, but I didn't like how big the flange was. It didn't look like it was going to hit the cover behind when I put the cover on, but then I called my brother and I asked him to look in the garage, and what would you know, right there on the bench was where I kind of disassembled it, was the bag for my oil pump bolts. So I went over and got it. So what we've done so far is just checked everything, torqued it, lubed it a little bit, crap, I forgot to put oil in here. Wedge tray, pickup tube collar, oil pump, and then I already set timing with the builder when I picked it up. I brought my chain. We set timing real quick, so this is looking pretty good. I can actually probably put this front cover on and start keeping things moving. So I think I'm gonna do that. Alright guys, so I had to pause the video yesterday because I ran out of memory on the card, but what we have going on today is more assembly of the motor. So I'm going to do a quick recap of kind of where we stand, etc. So hold on one sec. Alright, so what happened yesterday was I basically put the whole bottom end stuff together. So front, I checked over his torque the best I could. I put on the wedge tray. I put on the pickup collar. Then I went ahead and did both front and rear covers. I used the alignment tools, and then I went ahead and put on the pan. And also in the pan, I have the Improved Racing baffle. On the back side, I also did the Improved Racing barbell. So it's supposedly supposed to be better. I don't know. I still need to torque this. But one thing I noticed with these things is these bolts on these covers is you're supposed to torque them to like 18 foot-pounds. And on a couple of them I can get it done, right? But you know, I'll have like these two, which will get about 14. And then it feels like it's continuing to compress the embossed gasket, you know, the rubber. It feels weird, but they're tight. I'm not going to give them any more because, you know, they're kind of small and you don't want to risk stripping. So what I just did was I installed the lifters, coated them in oil. You know, a lot of people have been, you know, say to soak them for 3-4 days. I'm not doing that. You know, it takes too long. And I talked to a buddy, he's like, it's not worth it. So right now I got this. I need to go back and just kind of clean my surfaces one more time, make sure everything's nice and clean. And then we're going to prep to put the head gaskets on. I got the new head gaskets here. Going to go ahead and do, you can see the part number, but I'm going to go ahead and do the LS1, LS6 3-layer multi-seal gasket. I did have LS9 5 layers on, you know, but I think the gaskets were like 120 bucks, and I was talking to someone and, you know, these were like $40 for the pair. So I'm just going to go with these and see what happens. Another buddy of mine's been making over 800 horsepower on those gaskets, so I shouldn't have any issues. Plus, I have ARPs, so we should be good. So what I'm going to do now is finish cleaning the surface, and then I'm going to prep the heads. Got my 317 heads out. I'm about to give them a really nice brake clean and make sure everything's good to go there. On top of that, I got the ARP bolts out. I'm going to be, you can see that, I'm going to be cleaning them and then putting on this stuff right here. The ARP Ultra Torque Lube. So you need to be putting it on the threads, and the bottom of this washer head stays clean, but you need to put it in between these two. Sorry if I had the camera wrong, but that's what you need to do. So I'm going to be doing some cleanup and Been kind of jumping in and out of the videos. So this head is done. Basically, it's like 4 rounds of torquing to get the head on. You basically have to go the inners and these outers, the inner bolts and the outer bolts 3 times. So 25, 50, 75, which I did. And then you just do the outer bolts at 25 and they're done. Then I went ahead and threw in the push rods, and I put a little this stuff right here, Red Line assembly lube, really good stuff. So I put it at the contact tip going down to the lifter, and then I put it on all of the springs, the top hats, as you can see. So when the rockers touch, it's good contact. And then also have it on the backside on the other side of the push rod as well. And right now I am just torquing down the push rods to 22 foot-pounds, and then I'm going to throw on my my valve cover on this side and button this one up, and hopefully it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and just run through this torque real quick. So we're officially done with the motor. It's assembled, it spins, it doesn't bind up at all. There's no issues with it feeling weird in any place. I cleaned it the best I could. I tried to keep everything really, nice and neat and clean while I assembled it. I have no room though, really, being in a single car garage, so it is what it is. But bunch of stuff on the head. I reused the ARPs that the motor came with. 25, 50, 75 staggered, just how you did that. The top ones are just a straight pass at 25. I went over them a couple times just to make sure that they were good. I spun the motor over, threw the spark plugs in just so I can make sure that nothing gets in the holes. These are my powder coated valve covers. Really like them. Unfortunately, the powder coat didn't hit right here very well, but oh well. Went ahead and threw in my knock sensors. Got them in. Also went ahead and put on my steam tubes. So basically just doing the front ones with a port out, and then I got the rears blocked off. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this like this yet or not, but we'll see. Then I got tape over all the things just to keep it nice and clean. We are going to do one thing, guys, before we call this video quits, and that's we're going to put the intake manifold on it, see how it looks. There's the intake manifold. I went ahead and put things on it, cleaned it, put a bunch of stuff on it. Put the rails on it, just a test fit. So let's go put this on real quick. Starting to look like a motor, guys. Really is. It's really starting to come together. Gonna have to figure out how this could be because of the. It's probably sitting on the knock sensors. Yeah, that's what it is. So, starting to definitely look like a motor, guys. Excited to get this thing installed and go from there. You know, tons more videos to come, and we'll be getting this thing going.